Hi YouTube, this is Midwest Outdoorsman here, coming at you with another review. This time it's not for one single thing, but it's about a concept, sort of. Knives for self-defense. I know there's, a lot of stuff going on right now about guns and concealed carry and self-defense and that kind of thing, and I'm great that I live in a state and I live in a country where I can carry weapons to defend me and my family, or, my lady can carry when I'm not around, so that if someone were to try to kidnap her, or God forbid do any harm to my family, that they could defend themselves even if I wasn't there. So with that said, do you want to carry a knife? Well, I am always armed, and I have one of these blades usually with me all the time. And you got to be prepared to use a knife against someone, but I would much rather have that, or have the option, than have to be not armed at all, or to have any of my family not armed at all, to be able to defend themselves. And it's a serious topic, and I take it seriously, and that's why I have these knives, because I believe these knives are good enough. They're good quality, and they're great for the purpose of self-defense, and actually all around. Depends on which ones, but I'll go through this as I go along here. A lot of things are, okay, do you want a folder, or do you want a fixed blade? The tactical folder is pretty much taken over as far as the fixed, or as far as the defensive knife market is concerned. There's a lot of good reasons for that. Some people, they're easy to conceal. Some people think faster to deploy, depending on what kind. It all depends. There's a million different ways people can carry knives and use them, or whatever, or all the roles that you want that knife to fulfill. Do you want a knife just for self-defense, or do you want a knife that is a self-defense knife and an EDC, an everyday carry knife that you can use to open boxes and that kind of stuff? That's a question you're going to have to ask yourself. And also, how much money are you going to spend? If you're going to depend on a knife to save your life, I would wager most people don't want a cheap piece of junk, which even a cheap piece of junk is better than nothing. But you're going to want something that's quality, that's going to work, that you can count on when you need it the most. And these are knives that I believe in and that I can count on, and I carry them, one of them usually all the time with me. Now we'll start at the smallest here with the fixed blades. This is a Spyderco Delica 4. Great little knife. VG10 steel, great steel, one of my favorite steels of all time. Lovely jimping on there. Not so much a self-defense knife. This is basically my EDC knife. Super, super lightweight. Don't even know that it's there. Great blade design. It's got more of a finer tip on it, so we're digging out splinters, opening boxes, that kind of thing. But this also, this is good steel. This will also make, in a pinch, this will make a good self-defense knife. If this is all you have, I mean, that'll take care of somebody right there if you need to, I mean, I wouldn't carry this as a primary tactical knife, but, I carry this knife probably more than all the rest that I have, just because of the size and the weight. I don't really carry it for self-defense, but I can use it for that. It can be pressed into that role, and it will work. It's because it's good quality. It's got a decent, it's got the lockback design on here. Got decent steel. It's not going to just snap off on you. But I would consider it more of an EDC knife than a tactical knife, but it can be pressed into that role, more of a light duty. And now, this is a Cold Steel American Lawman. This is a tactical folder. Now, I bought this knife for a couple reasons. I wanted a knife that could fulfill a couple roles for me. I wanted a knife that I could, for one, wasn't too big to carry and annoying. Two, was more of a tactical knife, obviously, than my little Spyderco here. A little bit more heavy duty, a little bit beefier, a little bit more serious, but also wasn't so big that I couldn't use it for an EDC knife. This knife, it's a larger knife, but it's not so large that you wouldn't want to carry it all the time. This is my preferred option for a tactical folder, is the Cold Steel American Lawman. Just a great all-around option. You got a checkered G10 handle here, AUS 8 stainless steel with coated blades so it doesn't rust on you. Comes razor sharp from the factory. You know, you get a really with that grip, you get a really good hold on it securely. Obviously, if you're going to be fighting with this knife, you want it to be have a secure hold, and you can choke up on the knife too, which I like for all like the everyday kind of stuff. Let's say you're going to peel an apple or do some fine work. You know, you can that double choke, you can really choke up on there and get some fine control with the blade. But it's also really strong, has our triad lock, no blade wiggle, super strong. I think it's the strongest lock on the market in my opinion. You know, not much else they could do to improve it. I have a couple little things that I would think that they could do. First, one thing, another reason I like is you have the tang sticking here of the blade, which makes for a great non-lethal option if you want to bash someone in the head for whatever reason. I know that Cold Steel, if you want just a purely offensive, purely tactical knife, no EDC, no nothing, they make one called the AK-47 that's got a jetted out piece of metal here which you can use to strike someone or break glass or whatever. But I wanted a knife that wasn't too large for me to be able to carry for an everyday knife, and I was good at being a tactical folder, and this fit the bill. I looked at the AK-47 from Cold Steel, a lot of different options, and this is the one that I picked. And actually these knives, I have 3 of them. One is what I carry with me, 2 of them are in my bug out bags. That's how much I like this knife. You can switch the carry from either side. This is a checker G10, so it's pretty, almost like sandpaper, which I like because it gives you a lot of traction. Some people, say it can tear up your clothes, which, it might if you're really taking it in and out all the time and, ripping it out of your pocket or whatever. You can put a piece of tape there if you want, right underneath there on that G10, a little more slick, or you can sand it down just a hair. That can always help with that. But I'm not really here to review the whole knife itself, just the kind of option of what it is and what it does for you. And this, I would say, is, I wouldn't go any larger than this for an everyday carry knife, but it'll also serve as a great tactical folder. I would, for improvements on here a little bit, I would like to see them add an option to be able to wave it. I don't know if you know what waving is. There's a, you can see when you, on here there's just a thumb stud to open the knife like that. And with a wave, you have a piece of metal up here that has kind of a V cut in it, and you can have it in your pocket, and then when you go to open it up off your pocket, that catches on there, and as you open the knife, it'll slap open, and very fast, which this knife doesn't have. You have to use the thumb stud on here, which is a little bit slower. But I also wanted a large, everyday carry knife, and so that's kind of, that's why the American Lawman was great for me. The AK-47, if you want a purely tactical folder, not really an everyday carry knife, that can have the wave feature on it. But for me, that if they put the wave feature on here, there's not much else they could do to improve the knife. Just a great all-around option for tactical folder, anyway. And then we get to not folding knives, but fixed blade knives, or boot knives, or whatever you want to call them. I really like these because no matter how strong of a fixed blade or a folder you have, it'll never be as strong as a fixed blade. And they're easy to conceal. Depending on where you want to carry them in your boot, or I like to carry at like the 3 o'clock position or whatever on my pants or whatever, depending on the weather. They're strong, and they're about the same. They're more of a deep concealment, because even the lowest riding folder, you're going to have a little bit sticking out unless you have it all the way in your pocket. Then it's going to be the same as a fixed blade knife. But this is the Mini Pentagon by SOG. If you're looking for more of a budget type option, this is a great option. It's about $50 on Amazon. Has a 3.625-inch blade, double powder coated AUS 8 stainless, decent steel, overall length 7.8 inches, lightweight 3.3 ounces. This has actually got a checkered rubberized handle, which I really like. And now this is another knife that you could use it as an everyday carry knife, because it is small enough and lightweight enough that you can carry it and not have it be a nuisance. And it also does have jimping here and here. And it's got one side as a plain edge, and then it's got one side as serrated. So not only is this a great option for like more of a budget, quality tactical knife that you can deep conceal, in a boot or on your in your pants or whatever, inside the waistband carry. But you can actually use it, as a everyday carry knife because it's got the serrated and stuff. So if you're going to cut wire or something, it will function in that role. If you don't want to, for whatever reason, to use a folder, and it is stronger. I mean, these are all going to be stronger than any folder out there, fixed blades. And it's got a, I have larger hands. It's a little bit smaller for the handle, but not too small that I can't use it. It's a great option. I like the blade shape. For slashing, stabbing. It's wide enough to slash. It's got a good point to stab. Great option from SOG, the Mini Pentagon. Got a good sheath here. Kydex, my favorite. Comes with a nice clip on there, so you don't have to mess around. It's already, from the factory, ready to go. Clip that right onto your boot, your pants, whatever. I will say if you're wearing something really light, like just a pair of sweatpants or some really light shorts or something, you might want to try to carry it in your shoe or something like that, because over time that might wear in, but it's pretty. The retentions is fantastic. These are not coming out, unless you use your thumb and actually get them out, because which is great. But if you're gonna try to deploy them super fast, you're gonna want to make sure you have some kind of secure point where that hooks onto, whether it be a boot or if you have some kind of a belt, whatever, jeans, something like that, a little more sturdy. I think I would recommend, but nice and flat here, lightweight, great option. Now if you want a little bit more expensive boot carry knife, which some people say, why bother, this will do the job, and it will. But if you want something that's a little bit more higher quality, this is one I usually carry, and this is a zero tolerance boot knife. Love this knife. Super awesome Kydex holster. You can tie it down anywhere if you want. It also has this little, I'll just call it a thumb button. I don't know what the technical term for that is, but it's to release the knife. You can push on there. See, it locks super secure. It is not coming out. Even though it has a snap on there, you could leave that snap off or just cut it off if you want to, and it'll stay secure in there until you pop that thumb button. It ain't coming out. But there's the knife. A little bit heavier, but I think it's a little, it's better quality, better steel for sure. It's got S30V for the steel, coated too, keep it from rusting. But S30V isn't really known for rusting. It's a stainless. Great edge retention, super sharp. It's got decent belly on the outside there, but also really fine point for piercing. This checkered G10 handle, super grippy. Nice double ramp on there, so you're not gonna slip your hand up on there if you go to make a cut, or you can carry it this way. You can get your thumb on the back there. Razor sharp out of the box. This is the knife I usually carry. It's a higher quality knife. While the SOG is going to cost you about $50, this is $100. Now some people say, "Oh, what? That's crazy! I ain't gonna spend $100 on a boot knife." But then again, if it's going to be something you're going to bet your life on, the life of your family on, I think it's worth a little bit more. And $100 to save your family's life, so that your blade doesn't break or whatever, to me it's a small investment. So I went ahead and spent the money because I love the blade shape, I love the handle, I love the way it rides, I love the, for concealment and that kind of thing. It's got a quality steel. Let me see if I can get the specs up for you, just so you can get a better idea. But I love the fact that they all come with these Kydex holsters. They both have the nice hook on there on the back on their snap, so they stay wherever you put them. I would recommend putting like I said before, with the Mini Pentagon, jeans or a belt or something, so it has a little bit more secure. So when you go to grab that knife in a hurry, if you're not going to do it in a hurry, it doesn't matter. But if you're going to do it in a super fast hurry, which might be, I would recommend a belt or jeans or something that's a little more sturdy than just sweatpants or something. Now this is actually, I think, better than the mini Pentagon for that reason, just because you got this thumb stud. So you hit that thumb stud, and it really comes out a lot easier. Where the mini Pentagon, it doesn't have a thumb stud, but it's kind of the same deal, but it's a little bit more resistance because of the handle being rubberized, rubs up on here. So when you go to take it out, it's a little more resistance. That probably will wear over time, or you could even put some tape or something around there to make it a little less, but then you might lose your retention. That's why I like this. It's the best of both worlds. You hit that thumb stud or whatever you want to call it, and it just pops right out. So if you really want to be sly about it, be nice and slow, quiet, it comes out nice and easily. Holds it in securely too. It's got the zero tolerance boot knife here. It's got a 3 5/8 inch blade, overall length of 7.5 inches, weight of 3.6 ounces. So it's pretty close, but it almost feels a little bit more weighty in the hand. Maybe just because of the handle material and the way that the size and shape of it are. But a great option. You can get it on Amazon for like 140 bucks and stuff, which is more expensive. But if you look around, you can get it for a little cheaper than that. I found it on, I think, Knife Center or the internet for 99 bucks on sale. So those are some great tactical options. I'm sure I missed a bunch of stuff, but I'll probably do individual knife reviews of each of these by themselves. But I just kind of wanted to go over the concept of looking at what you want to carry, maybe as far as fixed blade versus the folders, and if you want a straight up tactical folder, or you want something you can use for everyday carry, or a small everyday carry knife that's its primary purpose, where it can be pressed into that roll. It all depends on what you want, what you're willing to carry, your size, where you live, all that good stuff. But these are just some great options, and some stuff that I've learned that I really like out of all the knives that I've tried. So any questions or comments, go ahead and ask or leave them. I'll try to get back to you. Please be considerate of everyone else. These are just my opinions, and I'm not the end-all be-all expert. I'm not a tactical expert or anything like that. Just an average guy trying to figure my own way through the whole tactical, knife or concealed carry type deal. And I just wanted to share my thoughts and what I've learned as far as what I like and why I like it. So hope this helped anybody out there. So I guess I'll see you guys later.